Hello and welcome to everyone to the first quarter earnings conference call for financial year 2018-19. I'm Hiren Shah, Head of Investor Relations at Bandhan Bank. I've got with me our Managing Director and CEO, Mr. Chandrasekhar Ghosh, and Mr. Sunil Samdani, our Chief Financial Officer of the company. May I now request Mr. Chandrasekhar Ghosh to brief us all about the first quarter performance of the bank. Over to you, sir.
Thank you to all of my shareholders and well-wishers to help us to share the first quarter 2018-19 financial performance of the bank. So we know that in the last financial year we are the very good quarter in the March 2018, that is January to March. That's a very good credit growth has come. But in the first quarter 2017-18, that means in the April to June 2017, that's the first quarter of last year, our credit growth has come down. That means in the 2,000 crores have been down the loan portfolio from March 2017. On the basis of that, if you see that this year the bank and the team have been given their best effort on that, so that it has come now this quarter, that is means in the 2019 April to June the quarter. There is in 200 crores, 250 crores. They have been increased advance from the March. That means the credit growth year on year from the last quarter of June 2017 to 18 has come. That is in 52.37%. And which helped us on that to make a profit of the bank of 482 crores in the first quarter of 2018-19 compared to the 2017-18 327 crores, which is profit growth has come 47.58%. And our advances, the last quarter means in the March 2018, it was in a microcredit based bank, you know. So 86% was a microcredit loan and 14% non-microcredit. In this quarter, it has come 85% microcredit and 15% non-microcredit. That means a 1% non-microcredit portfolio increase in this quarter. So that means in the both the side, microcredit loan and non-microcredit loan is simultaneously has been increased on that. And coming to the liabilities part, the deposit, there is in 30,703 crores deposit compared to the last year, the first quarter, 22,439 crores, which is 36.83% of our deposit growth. Out of that, that is the retail deposit 80% compared to the last year is a 75%. And this is also very good on that. The retail deposit is increasing. And CASA has come 35.46% compared to the 26.33% from the last year. Current account 6.75%, savings account 28.71%. And these are the point is here. And we saw that there is a NIM a little bit increase, which has come 10.27% compared to the nearly 10% from March 2018. Cost to income ratio has come down 34.25% compared to the 35.65%. And ROA has come 4.49 compared to the 4.40. ROE has come 19.92, which was earlier 28.10. We know that the 27th of March, in the last week of the March, bank have been listed, so the capital has been infused, so that it has been little bit affected on that. 19.92 ROE has come. It will be like to further increase, because when capital is increased, my advance book size will increase on that. Net NPA has come 0.64%, which was the last quarter, means March 2018, 0.58%. So NPA have been arrested, no further increase on that. We are controlling the OTR, on-time repayment rate, daily basis, 98.89%. That means regularly repayment is coming in this percentage. So these are the total bank have been performed. We are now 937 branches. One branch increase in the last quarter. 7 lakhs new customers added. Out of that, in the micro credit channel, they are increased the 4 lakhs new customers, which have been helped us to increase our advance, and they are borrower. And the bank branch has given 3 lakhs new customers, average 1 lakh per customer per month, which also have been helped us to increase our retail deposit more. So these are the total position of the bank as of now. So I give the thank you again to all of you to giving these opportunities to grow in the bank. So I hope that you have some question you can ask, and accordingly I will like to share my others any point is missing.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may please press star, then 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star, then 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. To ask a question, please press star, then 1. The first question is from the line of Nishant Shah from Macquarie. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Congratulations. Great set of numbers. 3 questions from me. First, any update from the RBI on the promoter stake sale issue? Have they given you a glide path, some extensions, any update on that? Second, on the growth, we've seen some robust growth. Could you give some more granular details on this, like what geographies we are growing? That particularly would be really helpful. And the third question is on the seasonality. So in 4Q, we're really seeing tremendous disbursement growth, and it's falling quite sharply in 1Q. So what explains that seasonality in microfinance? I don't think it's that stark in other companies. So what's different with our company? Any comments here? Thanks.
Thank you. First point is the RBI perspective on that. This is, that after the listing of the bank, there is a need of that 1 year block to the all shares, not to sell OR as in promoter category. So that we are getting that time is a 1 year. And other than this, we are now discussing with RBI. It is 1, 2 already been done. So we'll be under process on that, how they will be guided accordingly. We'll be to further taken steps. And second question is the growth is high. Actually, if you go to our growth of a bank or microfinance, if you see that earlier I also shared with all of you, this is a year-on-year growth is at 51%. So this is in normal nature. We say that it is sometimes it will be going down. Last year it has been go down. It is in 1 point. You know that this is in 2016-17 issue. It has been affected 17-18. So we are very conservatively grow in that time. Grow means in the choose some of the customer, increase the loan amount to the customer, and very scared in that time. So that in the first quarter, if you see that our advance book have been come down from March figure 2,000 crores. So when it has been gradually, it is coming on that the position is good and the NPA is arrested, the repayment is coming good, people has come normally, and the people business growth has also come. GST is now formalizing on that. Now credit growth, credit demand is normal nature is coming. So in that sense, if you see that our June figure of the advance, March figure same, only 250 crores we have out. And second point, you see that the last quarter, we have not any that much of the, if you say that microcredit loan was in 90%, and 10% was in a non-microcredit loan. But now it has come non-microcredit loan 15%, and the microcredit loan is an 85%. That means non-microcredit loan also increasing on that. So that is an impact has come on that basis. And final point, I say that because of the denominator is little bit reduced from the March figure, so that it is percentage-wise has come 52% on that.
Correct. No, so my question was more on the geographic mix. So like, are we growing more in the same in our eastern markets, or are we taking, so anecdotally we know, like, some other geographies you're pushing the pedal on growth. So is that actually happening? Just wanted to confirm that.
If we see that in the 7 lakhs new customer added, and 4 lakhs customer added in a microcredit, and which is net of, if you see that in our borrower. So our borrower is now 80.80 lakhs borrowers. Out of that 80.83 lakhs borrower, it was in a last quarter is at 78.26 lakhs. So if you see that the 2.5 lakhs borrower have been net increased, 3 lakhs. So that means that some customers have been closed their loan, they maybe take the loan next, but that day, that is in 3 lakhs and net received the loan, and that net customer, new customer, has a large amount is coming from the other than East region. Because you see that our Eastern region, more of the microcredit office or DSC are average borrower part of the DSC are near to our standard. But other states, the number of borrower of those DSC are low because they are new DSC. So that growth has come from the new borrower growth has come from the other than East, which have been gradually their portfolio is increasing.
Okay, yeah, and just the last question was on seasonality. So this sharpness of seasonality I've not seen in other microfinance companies. So could you just explain that, like, there's a 40% dip in your disbursement sequentially. So what explains that? Is it something structurally there with our company because we're different, or something else?
No, seasonality, if you see that the disbursement is a depend on demand of the customer. And the second point is that how many new customers I have been adding on that. I have given the one example of that. He said, when we become a bank, so we have been closed all Saturday, group have been closed and transferred to the other on that. But newly we have been developed in the last year, in the last quarter or before on that. The Saturday group we are forming and fortnightly installment collection system. So if any month ever the fourth Saturday, first Saturday will be collection, second Saturday off, third Saturday collection. That means fortnightly customer will give the credit installment. And so that it is increased with a very good number of new customer. even existing DSC also, which helped on that to come on that. Third point is there, we are very much concerned about maintaining the discipline, group attendance, and physical meet with the group, my staff on that. So that have been helped on that gradually. It is a good sense on that. People's behavior will be not disturbed, and they are regularly repaying, and when the loan will complete, and their portfolio is like to as the demand of business is growing, GST is coming down, GST disturbance is coming down, and demonetization is not the issue. I hope that also help to us to seasonality on that. But sector-wise, if you calculate on that the total sector in a microcredit, 60% growth, 100% growth is seen and across the country on that.
Okay. Sure. Thanks.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Saurabh Kumar from JP Morgan. Please go ahead.
Sir, I'm just referring to the slide 10 of your investor presentation. So basically the volume growth we've had is 18%, but the value growth is almost 45%. So there is a pretty big increase which is happening in terms of ticket size of the loan. And that's happened over the last 2 years. So sir, how much more leeway do you think you have to increase the ticket size of the loan from here?
No, if you see that the ticket size of the loan in the disbursement point of view, it depends on how many of my customers have the matured customer. If you see that our overall total customer, they have the 72% customer who has only single loan. And because of now as a bank, and now customers are getting that our interest rate is a little bit better than any MFI or SFB or bank, because it's a 4% below in our rate. So sometimes they are also closing other bank loan or other MFI loan. Coming to us, I cannot stop it. It is good for that. Because if we are also analyzing the cash flow perfectly. This is the one cause. But if other cause, if you see that there is an outstanding basis of the average loan size. In the last March, it was in a 35,965 per customer, per borrower of microcredit. It has come June 35,275. That means, if in that sense, in the 700 average per customer loan outstanding has come down. So in this, we are very much tracking on that. It is not anything adverse on that.
Okay. And sir, like the NBFC MFIs have relaxed their norms for this year from 60,000 to 80,000 of lending. So will that kind of help you for growth this year, or?
No, it is as per RBI norms 1 lakh. They internally set up 60,000, then come 80,000. So it is not in an impact on that to the bank, to us.
Okay. And sir, just one last question on your deposits. So basically, looking at the breakout deposits, savings has actually seen a very sharp increase, but not so much on the term deposit retail TDs. So why would that happen?
No, if you see that in our deposit, now total deposit has come 30,703 crores.
Correct.
No, which is, you see that below the March figure, because our capital has come, the cash flow is good. So why I will be like to keep my bulk deposit continue on. We are not renew the bulk deposit, so that it has been come down on that. If other sense, if you see that my retail deposit is in percentage wise is 80% compared to the 75% of the last year. And if I go to this, my retail deposit, it was in a Q4, that means in the last year, 24,361. It has come 24,556.
Yeah.
No? And if we come to this, the first quarter of 2017-18, it was 16,996. That means 17,000. Now increase it is 24,000. That means it's 7,500 is increased the retail deposit compared to the year-on-year. So we are on track on this.
Year-on-year, the retail term deposit growth is 44%. The overall deposit growth of 37%. So actually, year-on-year, our retail term deposit has done well. It's the wholesale deposit which we have brought down.
So, sir, I'm looking at slide 12. It says 11,000 crores to 13,600 crores on slide 12.
So it is in 16,996 crore, quarter 1, 2018, to 24,556 crore.
Oh, no. I'll take this offline, sir. I think you're adding savings. Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Rahul Jain from Goldman Sachs. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Good evening, everyone. I've got a few questions, so please bear with me. Number one is it possible to kind of know what exactly is driving the strong growth in our client base, especially on the microfinance side? And in that context, can we know how much of the incremental addition is happening outside of our home markets, which is East and Northeast?
Okay, thank you. Though I also mentioned about it, again I am saying on that, there is 4 lakhs a new microcredit customer we are added in the last quarter.
Yeah.
That is in 2-3 meanings on that. One thing is there those are the area our DSC are not in a full standard of the 3,500 borrowers is there. They are adding the new customer. This is one. Second point is there is Saturday. The earlier Saturday was a holiday. Now also holidays, second and fourth Saturday. Now we have been developed in a new way the product of fortnightly installment. So that only for the Saturday, first and third Saturday, they are my staff is going to the village and organizing the group meeting and giving the loan for fortnightly repayment. So that number of clients have been increased now. And that I saw that is the help on that to increase the number of client in microcredit.
And so is it possible to know the new to credit customers that we would have, of this 4 lakh customers that we have added, how many would be new to credit customers, i.e. don't have any other loan from any other microfinance company or a bank and has come to us? Can we know the breakup if you have it handy?
We have not that backup in my hand, but I know that is 72% of our customers is a single loan from Bandhan.
Okay.
But as a new customer, we are strategically educated our staff on that. They are trying to reach the more people who are not any loan other.
Okay.
So that it is not in that data in my hand to share with you.
Sure, sir, no problems. The other question is on, so we've got, 2 microfinance products on which we charge different IRRs. So is it possible to get the mix of that in our microfinance book? For example, I think we have got Sochana Shrishti as one product where the IRRs are 18% or thereabouts, and the other product, Suraksha and Sushiksha, where the IRRs are lower. So can we know the mix of these 2 in the microfinance book?
These are all our book in the microcredit on that, mixed. So you see that the Suraksha and others are very much a social product on that.
Okay.
Now, what's happened is those customers are only within 2 years successfully continuing with us. And they have a need on that, some small amount of the loan for education for their children sending, they have a need for the health purpose for the loan, because otherwise they will be lost their capital of the business and immediately stopped my installment. It's better on that we can give this the extreme, it will be like to 10,000 rupees. They can take the loan for family treatment if it isn't big thing is required on that. And that have been helped us on that more to control of NPA and default on that. So, and the other point also is also given on that they can be used it for set up a sanitary latrine, and that will be also on that we are doing on that. I hope that this is
and this is strictly well monitored. It's a very small percentage of our total book, about 1.5%.
Okay.
It is, on the genuine need, and we take the documentary proof of the family.
If they are not properly used on that, they will be pay us in a business loan interest.
Okay, all right. The other question was just a data point. What is our average SAR deposit cost as of last quarter?
Okay. So our deposit cost, if you see that, it has been factor-wise in the two. One point is there if we like to exclude our capital, it is in 6.53 as of now.
So sorry, I meant savings deposit cost, average savings deposit cost.
Okay. Average savings deposit cost hopefully 5.1%.
So has this gone up from the last quarter? Because I remember it used to be about sub 5%.
It is grown up because you know that we have the savings product, which is we given that offer to the customer, who are deposit the money more than 1 lakh to the savings account, they will get that at the 6% interest. So that the more than 1 lakh contribute 67% of our savings. So we are, for that reason, it has been going a little bit up on that.
Got it. So just one last question. We are getting into an election period, I think, from third quarter of this year. There have been a spate of farm loan waivers that were being announced by various state governments in the past. So if there is any repeat of any such announcement, you've seen multiple cycles, multiple such announcements. Do you see any correlation of that on the performance of the loans by the microfinance borrowers? Can you share some incidences with us in the past? Yeah.
No, if you see that in the past is very good experience from the customer point of view and from our point of view. So that now customers see that they are not captured or they are not qualified with the agricultural loan waiver, because nobody has got that benefit. But only the rumor have been sensitized by some of the interested people from money lenders, from political leaders on that. Now, these people understand about it, it is not their part, so that I feel that in future it is not a very big issue will come on that. Correct. They are already immunized.
Correct. Thank you so much, sir, and wish you good luck for the future quarters.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Ojasvi Kicha from SBI Cap Securities. Please go ahead. Ojasvi Kicha from SBI Cap Securities, your line is unmuted. Please go ahead with your question. As there's no response, we take the next question from the line of Ravi Singh from Ambit Capital. Please go ahead.
Sir, you classify your non-micro banking assets across retail, SME, and small enterprise loans. Could you just explain how you categorize different loans across these categories? What are the nature of these loans, ticket sizes, secured and unsecured?
No, it is not very much the base classified on that. Only I say that the 3-4 microcredit we have that up to 1,50,000 rupees loan we are treated as a microcredit, and which is we have the amount of 27,933. We have the SCL product which is very similar to MSME and which is 1,724 crores, and loan size is 1 lakh to 10 lakhs. And SME, there is a 1,800 to 18 crore, and this is more than 10 lakhs, and this amount is there. And average is in 40 lakhs of this loan. And retail, we have the two types of loan here. One is in personal loan, and the second one is in housing and LAP. So these we are 1,116 crores. So these are the three figures. I say that total 4,658 crores is in non-microcredit.
Okay. And sir, other than housing loans and LAP, in the non-micro banking, what is the share of secured loan versus unsecured loans?
I say that all are secured on that. Non-microcredit are secured.
Okay. And what is the typically securities in these loans?
And
for ACL, it's the only primary securities, which is the stock. For all others, we will have a collateral. Except personal loan, of course.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for this.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Manish Otswal from Nirmal Bang Securities. Please go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity, sir. My question first on spread increase quarter to quarter from 8.4% to 9.6%. Can you explain the factors behind it?
8.4%. 1 minute.
Our spread is at 8.9 for Q1 FY19. This has gone up from March.
So I'm comparing quarter 4 FY18 to quarter 1 FY19.
So 8.4 has gone up to 8.9.
Yeah.
So obviously that our cost of funds have come down, and further because of raising of equity, the benefit has come to spread as well as NIMs. Like we raised equity only in the last week of March. That benefit has come in this quarter.
Okay. Second question on the, can you provide the breakdown of your non-interest income in terms of fee income and treasury and others?
No, if you see that our three category of the mainly the two categories of the income is in non-interest income. One category we say that is the processing fee, which is we charged from the loan. And the second point is our PSLC certificate, which is called the priority sector lending certificate, which is another income is coming. Because our 95% of the loan are priority sector qualified, so that we are selling it to the other bank, so that we earn some money that is in here. And so these are two are major is coming on that.
So can you quantify the number, sir?
Processing fee will be about 100 crores.
100 crores.
Okay.
And balance is coming from PSLC.
PSLC is about 65 crores, and then there are other small like India charges, group charges and so on.
Okay. And this operating expenses growth, which is at 38.49% YOY and 17% increase, 18% close to 18% increase in quarter to quarter. So the pace of operating expenses will continue in FY19, or we see some moderation? How do you see that thing?
If you see, we've in between the last financial year, we've increased our distribution footprint, and we are also launching the non-microfinance scheme. So that's where the investment is going. So as a cost to income, we are working on maintaining it at last year's level, which is about 35%. So we'll continue to keep investing in the business, and when the times are good, that's what we believe in. So we'll keep investing in new technology, distribution, and new products.
Last, on the microfinance business side, sir, can you provide some insight about your, compared to your last quarter collection efficiency in microfinance business versus Qtr1 FY19? Can you talk about some numbers and overall geographical, any weakness in particular geography? It will be great. Thank you.
No, number is not in my hand because this number is depend on that how much of my disbursement client is there. On the basis of that amount will be depend on that. But what we saw that this is an OTR we are calculating on that on-time repayment rate. It has been gradually it is increasing on that. So now it has come in the 98.89%. So which was earlier it is little bit above of 98%. So that it is growing more means OTR today how many customers are due to give the minimum one installment, how many they have given minimum one single installment, and what is the ratio. So we see that if it is increasing, that has been helped to us to maintain the portfolio quality is good.
Okay. And for the full year, what is our credit cost guidance, sir?
We typically we budgeted for a 1% credit cost.
1% credit cost. Okay, sir. Thank you very much for answering my question. Thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to the participants to ask a question. Please press star, then 1. The next question is from the line of Anusha Raheja from LKP Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for taking my question. So what was the quantum of sell-down of assets that you had done in this quarter?
Could you please be a little louder?
I'm saying the quantum of the sell-down of assets that you would have done in this quarter.
This quarter, we've not done any additional IBPC. We've done mostly through PSLC route, where the portfolio does not get sold. It's only the rights of priority which is sold. So we sold about PSLC rights of about 20,000 crore worth of assets, where we generated a premium or a fee income of 256 crores. Which we are amortizing over 4 quarters.
Why the income is getting amortized over 4 quarters?
Because PSLC typically, the way it works is on 1st of April, whatever you do, PSLC sell down remains with the buyer till 31st March, and on 1st April it comes back. So in the first quarter, you have the entire book available to you for downsell, which is essentially for the entire year.
Okay.
Right? Since this is the book available for the entire year, which I am doing it in the first quarter, it's a prudent practice to amortize it over the 4 quarters.
Okay. So, but why the quantum is that high, 20,000 odd crore?
96% of our portfolio qualifies for priority sector loan.
Yeah, agreed. But then isn't that quantum is like slightly on a high net?
Not really, because we need to maintain only about 40%, and our on-book assets are only 20,500 crores.
This is our opportunities, no? Because 96% of the book are priority sector qualified. I have need in only 40%. So the 56% I can be like to sell. So it will be like to.
Yeah. And so just one thing on this sell down, the net gains that you receive in IBPC and the net gains that you receive in PSLC, I guess in the later case, the net gains realized are lesser as compared to IBPC. Is that correct?
It's a market driven, no? Because the market is asking PSLC more in this time compared to the IBPC. This is one. Second point, the last quarter, PSLC was not introduced in that time. So that in that time only IBPC.
Yeah, that part is understood. It's more of market driven. But I just want to understand, is the net gains realized in PSLCs?
In a perfect environment, it should be same, right? But obviously, the environment are never perfect and the compulsions are different. Today most banks struggle to meet, particularly public sector bank, to meet their capital adequacy. So they prefer PSLC route rather than taking assets on their book.
And the credit growth will come, automatically this market will be again increased.
But is it fair to assume that probably you will receive 1% of the amount of the sell down?
It depends upon category to category. There are 4 categories, which is small, marginal, agri, micro, and others. They all have different premiums based on demand supply. Of course, small and marginal farmer, you get the maximum. Depending upon what access you have at that point of time, you get sold. So for us, on an average, we got about 1.5%.
1.5%. Okay. And on the spreads, just want to understand what was your fourth quarter spread and margins for the last quarter?
Sorry, I didn't get that question.
What were the spreads and the margins that you had in the last quarter of Q4?
You're talking about the spreads and the NIMs?
Yeah.
10.27% the NIM.
It's for the first quarter this year, and the spreads are 8.9.
Yeah.
If you compare it with Q4, it was, for the last financial year, it was 8.7 and 9.7.
Okay. So basically, I just want to understand, why the yields have, come off in this quarter from, if you just look at from 16.7 to 15.4. Like, what has been the reason for the fall in the yields?
As the mix of micro to non-micro changes, as the non-micro book increases, obviously, comparatively, it's a lower yield product. So, this yield will also change. In Q1, the non-micro book was less than 10%. Today, it is 15%.
So is that the only reason, or you have tinkered with the micro-lending rates as well this quarter?
That is not affecting this quarter, no.
I guess you had around 18.4% lending rates, right, on the micro loan book side. So is there any reduction in the rates that you have done?
No, not really.
Not really.
Deposit rate increase, no.
Okay. So basically, I just want to understand, even if the spreads or the margins, either upwards or the downwards, the movement should be linear.
Something also is there when any default customer is coming to repay the amount. Automatically, our yield on loan and advance will be little bit increased.
And in this first quarter, we got the benefit of equity that we raised in the last week of March. So obviously that also helped us increase the gains.
So, going ahead, for this current fiscal, what will be the broader call on the margins, one can take? How do we look at the margins going forward?
We're trying to nearly 10 to maintain on that.
We will maintain our spread. Now, NIM, of course, is a factor of leverage and the asset mix as it changes. So, we try to maintain our spreads product-wise.
But I guess the spread
Excuse me, this is the operator. Ms. Raija, may we request you to come back in the queue for a follow-up question, please? We have other participants waiting for their turn. Thank you. The next question is from the line of Jayant Kharote from JM Financial. Please go ahead.
Hello. Yeah, hi, this is Samir here. Congrats on a good set of numbers. Just wanted to know what was the TD retail number for March 18?
PD?
Term deposits?
Oh.
Our total retail on March, which includes CASA, was 24,361.
Okay. And how does one read the sequential decline in CASA as well as the overall deposit number?
If you see the overall deposit number, about 3,000 crores, we've reduced our bulk deposits. That's where the maximum reduction has happened because of the equity infusion of 3,600 crores that we took.
Yeah.
So we found that it's best to reduce the bulk deposits high cost, and so that's where the bulk. And there has been a slight reduction in the CASA as well.
Yeah.
But bulk of it is because of the wholesale deposits.
Okay. So the CASA reduction, I think you are fine with, say, SA being primarily moved to some TDs, but even the CA part of it.
Yeah, so
CA will take some time on that because the CA basically has come from the current account. So we have not that much of the corporate credit or corporate the business service. So that it is little bit is there. So we are gradually like to thinking about it, how we can be provided some of the MSME segment service which can be give the CA balance to the bank. And of course some of the salary account we are now going to the new product to the corporate sector, which can be also help us to come to some of the CA.
Okay. Secondly, on the retail banking, general banking asset products, have they been launched at all branches?
No, it is a separate asset center and controlled from headquarters and separate department, but they are helping us with the source some of this the good proposal and send it to the asset center, and asset center independently process it, and accordingly they will be disbursed through that branch.
But all branches today are enabled to disburse or source these products, or is it that say some of the branches are doing it and some branches are yet to roll it out?
Not in all branches are that much of the capacity of the sometimes is not that up to the mark. Or new branch, we are not like to give them that responsibility. They will be like to more focus on that liability customer, new account, liability. So that it is there. But if something is the proposal has come, they will be send it to the asset center.
Okay, and just one final thing. How does the loan book stand from a East plus Northeast versus the rest of India? Any percentages? Has it materially changed from what it was 3 quarters back?
Our East is there, the loan book size is in 57%, and the balance is in 43% is in non-East.
Okay. Thanks a lot and all the best.
Thanks.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Jay Mundra from BNK Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi sir. Thanks for the opportunity. Sir, a couple of data points question. First, if you can break down the gross NPA into MFI book and non-MFI book.
Okay. So, if you see that the NPA, we have now 1.26% as a gross. And
about, in terms total and gross NPA is 388 crores.
Yeah.
Micro and SEA loan, which is similar to MFI loans, is about 370 crores. And rest 15-16 crores is non-MFI.
Sure. And sir, have we also been disclosing portfolio at risk, which at least in MFI business?
Portfolio at risk, I have.
Our 30 plus is 2.3%.
Sorry sir, I could not hear it properly. 30 crores plus.
30 plus is 2.3%.
Okay. Par at greater than 30 is 2.3%.
2.3%.
Yeah, sure. And sir, I mean, we have given the retail disbursement number, but can you also give the non-micro retail banking loans as an outstanding? I mean, if it's possible.
4,365 crores.
Yeah, so sir, sorry, the retail, SME and small enterprise loans wise, I mean, in that fashion.
4,658 total. So in that sense, the MSME, we can say that 3,500 crores. And balance is the retail. Retail means in the housing loan, personal loan, and loan against property.
Okay. I mean, would it be too much to ask, sir, if you can provide this housing and LAP and personal loan? Because I believe we had given that in last quarter.
If I say that out of the retail loan, there is in 46 crore, I hope that it is in the personal loan, I hope that the 600 crores about on that personal loan.
And that is
sure.
Mortgage and gold.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much. I'll come back in. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Sheshadri Sen from Alchemy Capital. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon. Thanks for taking my questions. I had three broad questions. One is the share of deposits from micro lending customers. Is that which direction is it moving? Is that growing? Is it broadly the same?
As of now, it is in 6%.
Okay.
Earlier, it was in a 5.4% in the last quarter.
Okay, so slightly improving.
So a year back, it was 5.4, first quarter of last year. Currently, it is 6.
Okay. This is the share of overall deposits, not share of CASA.
No, share of overall.
Overall. So 90% is a CASA.
90% is CASA. Thanks. Yeah. Secondly, could you give some color on your branch expansion plans? I noticed that during the quarter there was the branch network or the distribution network remains static, but over a say 2-3 year period, what are the plans for branch expansion, and what does that mean for OPEX growth and overall ticket size growth as well?
No, if we see that we cannot be like to give the 2-3 years the plan of branch growth, but we are saying that this year we like to reach in the 1,000 branch. As of now, we have a 937. We will be like to reach 1,000 branch, which I got the approval from board, and we like to set up another 250 microcredit office. Instead of 2,764, that maybe it will come to the 3,000. And this is the plan as of now on that. But on the basis of performance and everything is in future, then next year we'll be like to go again board. And according to their comfort and approval, then we'll be like to go further next year.
Okay, so about 1,000 branches and 3,000 DSCs by the end of this year.
Right, correct.
And is that going to be back-ended towards the second half, or the expansion kicks off from the second quarter itself?
No, it is what's happened is there. It is always depend on the first quarter approval has come. The DSC maybe this quarter we can be like to open, but a branch open it will be taking more time on that because selection of the premises, negotiation of that, and infrastructure development, interior decoration. So all connectivity, it takes some time. So that we are not in that position, say that in the next quarter it will be like to open all branches. So according to the we are ready for that anytime. But according to that, all of this, the infrastructure will be like to prepare on time. Accordingly, we will be like to make it.
And what proportion of these incremental branches will come in the east and northeast?
We are not much more coming to the eastern. It's depend on the if you say that the eastern region means say that if we deduct on the Bengal and the northeast, and other than this is in Bihar also, but some other focus is not that much is coming to them. But it's a very selective area where the more deposit based, more on that. And second point is we'd like to maintain the 25% the unbanked rural. On the basis of that, we are selecting on this.
Okay, thanks. And final question is the IBPC. So if I read the presentation right, there's about 1,800 crores outstanding. How long does that take to run off?
The maximum period for which you can do IBPC is 180 days. So we did this in the month of March. So anyway, it has to run off by September.
And incrementally, you're unlikely to do a more IBPC of very small amounts because the market is shifting towards PSLC. If I read you right. Yeah. Okay. Thank you and congratulations for a great quarter.
Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Saurabh Kabra from Reliance Mutual Fund. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Thanks for taking my question.
Excuse me, this is the operator. Mr. Kabra, may we request you to use a handset, please? Your voice is not audible.
Is it audible now? Is it better?
Little better, but we'll need a little more.
I'm not sure. I'm using a handset only.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I just have one question regarding the operational parameters. So what we are observing that across various MFIs, the attendance ratio in the center meetings are going quite low. It's like one or two people come and pay for the whole group. So how does the attendance ratio look at Bandhan?
We feel that the 80 to 90%, our ground level, we are trying to 90%, but we feel that in a centrally 80%, if it is there, it's okay. We can be accept on that. If it is coming below the 50%, it is very much not good on that. It is a danger for future on that. Okay. So in that sense, you can select some persons who are not coming, how we can be like to motivate to attend or remove them from the system to not to the lending on that.
Okay.
And so as a policy, internal policy, less than 80% attendance are clustered as to approve the renewal loan. And if the attendance is 50, we go up to the HO level. So we basically encourage attendance at the group.
Okay. And can you throw some light, how does the trend goes for this? So now it is decreasing or at the same level over last 1 year?
Which one?
The trend in attendance over last 1 year.
In Bandhan?
Yes, yes.
No, we are not compromising it on that. We are continuing on that. We have not seen in this is happen. If it is not suddenly happened one area for some cause is there. Otherwise, it is not in Bandhan. We are from beginning. We are very concerned about this attendance.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Supratim Basu from America of Capital. Please go ahead.
Hey, thanks. Just a couple of follow-up questions, actually. I didn't understand why do you have such significant seasonality in your business with respect to your disbursements?
If you see, there are a couple of factors which result into seasonality. One is the festival season. Typically just before the festival season, you see the demand going up. And two has more to do with the status as an NBFC before converting into a bank. Because typically banks lend during the March end to meet their targets, and that's the time NBFCs have money. So the cycle of that customer, if it's a 1-year loan, gets closed and renewed again in the next March. Right, so it's more to do with that.
You would expect this to get tamped as you go forward as a bank?
Yes, we expect that to improve as we go forward as a bank.
And this has been the case for you guys going backwards last 3-4 years, like 1Q dips 40% compared to 4Q?
No. So if you see that in the practice, already Shudil mentioned, I again mentioned on that, all the MFI, the NBFC is in point on that, all funding has come to the March. And the money has been kept in March, all MFI practice. First 2 quarters, there is no funding has come on that. And so that any credit growth they have been taken on the basis of March figure on that. So that in the first quarter, it is automatically, it has been less number of customer acquisition, disbursement happened on that. So that cycle has been changed and coming to the every quarter is the same disbursement collection. It will take long time on that. So it is not very easy on that. Otherwise, if you see that, second point, if you see that any of the MFI or any of the bank, if our side also say that, we plan to open the bank branch or DSC in first quarter. And second quarter we open. And third to fourth quarter, that DSC will become as a good number of customer acquisition on that. So in that sense, if you go to the next cycle, it is automatically going to after the second cycle, third and fourth cycle on that. So it is coming on that way also little bit.
Okay, thank you. And would you say that this seasonality is also linked to the volatility that I see in your spreads number, the interest rate spread number?
I mean, not really on the spreads number. Spreads, has more to do with the mix between micro and non-micro. And of course, in the first quarter, we got the benefit of equity. So any which ways our cost of funds came down and spreads improved.
So I actually don't have your 2Q, 3Q numbers for last year, but if you were to just look at 9.6 1Q of last year and then 8.4 for 4Q of last year and then 8.9 for first quarter this year, there is a lot of bouncing around that's happening with the spread. So just curious about why this happens.
So, as I said, because of the seasonality, in Q1 of last year, our micro book came down sharply. So that also impacted the spreads. This year, our micro book didn't come down, so that helped us maintain our spreads coupled with the equity infusion as well.
And the other point, if you see that the last year, it is not the normal year. And last year, all quarters, the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, if you see that. So there is not any normal quarter because the NPA has been increased in that time. So when NPA increased, that means the collection has come down. Then my interest income has come down. Then automatically it will be also little bit effect on that. So.
Okay. And do you have a target spread for the year?
No, it cannot be target is there. We are like to grow the business with appropriate rate compared to the market, and you know that the microcredit rate is a very sensitive rate. So we cannot be drastically like to come up and increase and do that. It is everything is a market, regulator comfort, large people comfort. It will be like to maintain something on that. And we only can we maintain on that this is then capacity increase, cost of fund increase, current account balance increase. Automatically it will be maintained on that spread. It will be, we see that it is possible to maintain.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much. All the very best.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we take the last question from the line of Nishant Shah from Macquarie. Please go ahead.
Hi, thanks for the follow-up question. Has there been any upward move in the card rates on deposits? Advances are really outgrowing our deposits, so is there any liquidity pressure coming up?
No, we are not in that position. We saw that in the last month a very good deposit has come to the bank. So we are, as of now, we have not feel that, but if market is like to come up, if the RBI have been raised, increase their monetary policy the rate have been increased, and other competitor, that means the bank also increased them. You can be like to see that in the last 1-2 months, many of the private banks are very renowned. They are also increasing drastically their deposit rate. So on the basis of that, in the ALCO will be decide on that with our liquidity position, how we can be like to going to increase or not. But as of now, today, if you see that, we are very comfort on that.
We don't see a pressure on liquidity because we raised equity last quarter. We opted to flow out the bulk deposits. So that's why percentage terms look lower.
Other than this, you see that every month we are adding 1 lakh new customer in bank branch, which is even the good amount of deposit is there now. First customer, then they will be gradually they will become as a very good premium customer, and automatically my deposit growth will come.
Sure. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the last question. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Sunil Samdani, CFO, for closing comments.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for taking time out. Thank you.